Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How you doing today?
You know, it feels like a Monday, that's for sure.
It sure does feel like a Monday. A long Monday, dreary Monday.
Oh yeah, I had a long weekend.
Did ya?
Played Friday, played Saturday, played Sunday.
I saw you Friday.
Yep.
I saw you Friday. I was going to try and see you Saturday, but something came up, so we were unable to make it.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're here now. That's all that counts.
That's right.
You know what? I'm a little disappointed though, because our favorite place next door isn't open on Mondays.
I know. And until they start sponsoring us, I'm not saying who it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's like a tradition. We do a podcast, we go next door, we celebrate with a bourbon, and
Well, we're back here Wednesday.
no. Well, there we go.
There we go. So we'll have to make up for Monday.
Yeah, or we have to find someplace else around here.
That's true. That's true. Have to see something around here. So, alrighty, joining us this week are three gentlemen from the band Two Beer Tommy. How you guys doing?
Hey.
Well, thank you.
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm going to play a little. It's your first day in class in third grade, and we're going to go around to everybody's desk and tell us your name and what you do.
All right. Well, my name's Rich. I'm a Sagittarius and guitar player in the Two Beer Tommy band.
I'm Tim. I'm the drummer.
And my name's Nick. I am a new guitar player joining the group.
Yeah, he's the sparkle man.
Yeah.
Sparkle player.
the arm candy or the eye candy or whatever it is.
Well,
Right.
you could look at it that way too.
So where's Tommy from Two Beer Tommies?
Well, Tom's got a condition, a medical condition. But we're not going to get into it. Right?
Okay.
That's called HIPAA.
That's right. It is
That's
part
right.
of his HIPAA. That's why they got an issue.
Okay. All right. So is the band named after him, or does it just happen to be that his name is Tommy?
No, it's named after him.
Okay.
There is a story. I don't know if you want to hear it.
No, that's what we're here for.
Of course.
Well, I'll tell you, way back in the day, Tom is a mechanic by trade. And he would go out for lunch and, have a few to wash down his sandwich with. And when he would come back, he was a little full of himself and he'd know what was best for the boss and best for the business and be telling everybody so. So when he would come back from lunch, he would, the other guys in the shop would be like, here comes Two Beer Tommy. So he told us this story and we thought it was so funny that we thought we'd call the band that. But what we do is we use it as a cautionary tale. We tell people that Two Beer Tommy is pretty good, but Three Beer Tommy is
Gets
Not
a little
so much.
dicey.
Yeah, it gets out. Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
So that kind of leads into who manages your social media. I have to ask that right away.
Oh, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
I read every single one of the posts that you put out on social media because they're absolutely hysterical.
Great. Thank you very much.
They're
Yeah.
absolutely
We'll have a
hysterical.
lot of fun. with
What,
it.
what
That's
was
good.
the one that I saw today? It was somebody put Two Beer Tommy. It says got and it's scratched out and it says is a big dick.
Yeah,
It's just great.
Well, it actually doesn't. It doesn't say that. It says dig big. But if you want to read it quickly, that's what.
Well, that's the whole idea. Read it quickly.
But it had other little blurbs at the end of it that said you just read that wrong. So you
Yeah.
go back and you read it again and
Yeah.
it said, then
Yeah.
you just read that wrong.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you've read a little advertisement for Two Beer Tommy
That's right.
like 4 times.
Yeah, that's right. And that's how we try to do it. We want to get the name out there. And that's why we're here. We appreciate that you guys invited us here and, get a little more Two Beer Tommy out there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's absolutely hysterical. I think your social media ideas are absolutely brilliant. I don't think I've missed one. So
Oh, thank you. And there's a lot of people that will tell us that they don't follow the band. They won't come and see us, but they love to get online and see what we posted that day.
I mean, they suck live, but their posts are awesome.
Right.
So who are the other guys that are missing?
Well, here we got the heart, the beat of the band right here. Tim, go ahead. Say a little bit, Tim.
Well, I'm just the drummer in the band. I've been with these guys for almost 2 years now.
About 2 years.
Yeah.
Now.
And I'm just loving it, having a good time, enjoying the camaraderie and get to play some cool songs and just digging it.
Yeah. Where'd you come from? How'd you become a drummer? And What immediately led you to Two Beer Tommy?
You want to start at the beginning or?
Yeah.
Okay. I was a young boy that went out to Las Vegas as a young boy with my sister, my mother, and her friend. And we went and saw Elvis Presley twice.
Oh, okay.
And I sat right in front of the drummer. And all I did was stare at that drummer the whole time. And then when we came back home, I told my dad, and he went out and bought me a drum set. And that was 57 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And I haven't stopped playing since.
Great.
Yeah, I've played in many different bands. I've been to Nashville. I've done albums in Nashville. Played with a lot of different types of groups, different scenarios. Been to all around with concert bands and jazz bands, or not jazz bands, but other bands in high school and stuff.
Right.
Done a lot of interesting things. It's been fun. It's been a great time.
Wow. So, I mean, between the two of you guys have a music pedigree because you were talking about you had been doing some touring as well.
Yeah, I've toured my whole life for 40 years. I'm just off the road now. And this is what's got me anchored home, if you will, and uses that part of my brain because I toured. In fact, REO Speedway, that High Infidelity, that was my first tour.
Oh, wow.
On the road nationally, actually. So, and I started with the boys actually locally here, went to LA with them with the Bees, jumped off that and Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman tour. But tour after tour after tour. That's all I've done my whole life.
Wow.
So when I got off the road a few years ago, I put this little band together and that's what's been keeping me home and having a good time on the weekends. But really fortunate to have a guy like Tim to play in the band, right size. It's phenomenal. He gets it. And we, with Mike, who you talked about, our bass player,
right.
These are some pocket playing guys who, it's a rhythm section as opposed to two guys just playing their instruments.
Right.
And when he says right size, he means short drummer.
Yeah.
Short drummer.
We always ask him to stand up, take a bow, and he's like, I am,
Right. Yeah, no, I've known Mike for a few years because, as you know, his nephew or nephew-in-law plays in my own band, but I have yet to get out to see you guys play. So I keep hearing that Mike's a really good bass player, but I haven't had a chance to actually.
Oh, he's probably the best he's the best in the band, actually. You got to come out.
Yeah, we may have jammed together at a jam night or something like that a few years ago, but normally there's alcohol involved in that. And, you don't really remember too much. But by the way, please continue to name drop because I just had a very interesting conversation a couple of days ago with people that listen to the podcast pretty regularly, and they say, "Boy, it's great to hear about local musicians," and I don't think that people who you would encounter on a daily basis really understand the extent to which the musicians in the Chicagoland area have taken their musicianship. They just look at us all like a bunch of neighborhood guys that play guitar, but they don't understand who you might actually be, going to see every weekend. So please continue to name drop and tell everybody about your experiences because they have been loving that stuff on the show. So,
I mean, just real fast, as you guys know, and why this place is here is that Chicago is a pocket of enthusiasm and musicality for, God knows how long, right? And there's just so many people here. The circles here are incredible, but this is a great place to be in the play because there's so much opportunity and music and musicians. And Chicago is where it's at. Even though I've toured my whole life, this is home. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to be here and to be playing around here. It's just, I don't know, it's wide open. It's great.
My sentiment exactly.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, that's why we're here too. But let's talk to Sparkle Boy over here.
Sparkle. Your name is going to be Sparkles from now on.
Oh, great.
So tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Nick. I've been playing guitar for almost 20 years now. It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, and you're only 17 years old. So yeah, pretty amazing.
Now I'm turning 30 this year. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I'm new to Two Beer Tommy. I've been, like I said, been playing for about 20 years. I've played with a lot of different local groups, including subbing in for a few Cadillac Groove gigs. It was just 2 months ago now. It was
was it
Ballydoyle?
Ballydoyle. Yeah.
Ballydoyle, where Mike and I are sharing the stage and having a fun time.
Right.
But yeah, through a local mutual friend between Rich and myself, they gave my contact info out and we reached out, gave me a list of a whole bunch of music, learned it all. And here I am now. It's
Yeah.
fun.
That was Music Solutions, by the way, down the street in Bolingbrook. That a friend of ours, Steve Dollinger, turned. Because I always put out a message. We run a deep bench because we play too many shows.
Right.
So
right.
we always have backup guys and always need people. I mean, it's amazing how many people we've had play with us. Great,
Oh yeah.
great musicians. So
Yeah, you have to. You absolutely have to. The first time I met Nick was at a jam, as we meet a lot of people, and I had the opportunity to watch him as a fledgling young guitarist. And when I say fledgling, I mean he's years above his talent, I guess, is the best way to put it. So you guys got a good
and
man
he's
there.
young and nimble, and he does still sparkle a
He
little
sparkles,
bit.
yeah. He
I sparkle.
He sparkles.
And he's new, so he's the one hauling all the guitar amps
Well,
up
you
the
got it. Yeah,
up-
he
up the
doesn't know all
stairs.
that
Yeah.
yet.
So who we missing? We're missing Mike.
Yeah, Mike, our bass player.
Somebody talk about Mike a little bit.
Mike's a principal. We kind of, Tom is the namesake. I'm the one, as you talked about, does all the marketing and the booking and all that kind of stuff. And then Tom, forget about him. Mike is the quiet one, as you know, Mike. But he kind of holds down the equipment side of things and is a pragmatic guy, and just really brings a lot to the band. Not an overplayer, but man, great pocket playing guy and just really awesome. The Rock of Gibraltar. But all the new guys that come in think that Mike hates them for some reason. So we have to tell. Don't worry, if he looks at you sideways, he likes you.
I didn't get that vibe. I got the look of, hey, we're about to do this.
Yeah.
So do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So when did the band get together originally?
2019, pre-COVID, just before everything went haywire. We got together, and different guys, a different drummer back then. Jeff Kemick was his name. Great guy from a band called Omega 3. And then guitar player was Leo Roth, who's with Hillbilly Rockstars. Now he got poached from us. So, we started up playing then. And, we had been with too many bands. All of us had played our whole life around the city and around Chicago, and we've been with a lot of bands that were in the basement for 8 months, and then it would break up before you got out. So we did this one the opposite way. We went out and just started playing. But then COVID hit, and everything shut down. Nobody knew what they were going to do. And we're kind of a country kind of based band, country, classic rock, southern rock kind of thing. But, line dancing has a natural separation in it. And a lot of the bigger clubs were like, we're only going to have 20% of the people in here. We got a big stage, but can you come in as a small unit? So Mike would play upright. I would play acoustic, and we made a suitcase kit, and we would play it in a lot of places. And the managers would say, hey, we like what you're doing. We'd like to have you back as the full band, and we kept pretty busy through the COVID time. And then after that happened, some personnel changes, and then, we were able to book, and we keep pretty busy. We've done, I think, like 80 shows a year for the past couple of years, which is
Yeah, I get all of the invites to all your shows. Unfortunately, I play so much that I haven't been able to get out there. But you play a lot of the same places that.
Oh yeah, right.
Well,
we invite everybody. We don't know any of the people we invite, and we apologize to all of you.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to have a guy like that. We have our own Tommy in our band, and anybody that walks up and shakes his hand, he friends him on Facebook.
Exactly right.
So we get people showing up to hey, who's this Tommy guy that keeps sending me emails and all that?
That's right.
But you have to do it. You have to get your name out there. You have to do it, and the bar owners appreciate that and the whole bit.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. So tell us about the music. Who kind of chooses the music? Do you have like a director in that regard?
Well, the original concept was a total ripoff. I had just gotten off the road, as I was telling you. I was with Paul Simon at the time for like 15 years, right? And so I'm like, I'm not going to be on the road anymore. And I wasn't really a country player per se, but because of, Bob Dylan and Paul Simon, I've sat out front. I've toured with many, many bands for 40 years, but I've sat out front and listened to a lot of great players. And a guy asked me to audition for a Nashville guy called Matt Boone. He was up here from Nashville. He was down in Nashville, got a record deal, and he was doing a showcase at Loretta Lynn's house. And during the showcase, a girl came up and kissed him, and his wife got up and beat the hell out of him. And so he lost his record deal.
Wow.
And he came up here and shacked up with some girl in Wheaton, right? And a guy says to me, hey, there's this country guy here. I go, I'm not a country guy.
Right.
You know, everybody around here is a classic rock guy for the most part, right?
Right.
So he goes, no, really, you should audition. You could do it. And I'm like, okay, well, give me half a dozen songs. And the guy talked me into it, and I played, and I got the gig. So, all right. Well, Leo also had auditioned, but they're like, you're the guy. But I had been talking to Leo for 6 months, the other guitar player. And I said, well, get Leo. He'll be the sparkle player. I'll hold down the basics. So I don't really know these songs by, like, they're not a part of my soul, if you will.
Right,
I can play them, but I don't really listen to them on the radio or whatever. Anyway, but we went around all with this guy, Bub City, Nico's, played a lot of great places. Everybody's dancing, having fun. And I had the time of my life.
Yeah.
So this guy goes back to Nashville, and I'm like, well, I got a set list. I've learned all these songs. So I put an ad in, and Tommy, Two Beer Tommy, answered the ad for vocals. I still had Leo and put a rhythm section together. Mike and I had played together for many years. Right. So we just kept it going, And then Matt Boone had come up from Nashville and was with his girlfriend in a bar, came to see us once. And I told him, hey, fair and square, brother. No problem. He came up and sang a few songs with us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even flow. It was great.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, that's good. That's
so
good.
that kind of kicked it off. But Tom's background comes from a band called State Line, and they didn't like a country kind of vibe, and they've been around for a long time. And he was also with Easy Louise, I think, before that, right? And you played with a lot of country.
Well, I've known Tom since the early 90s.
Okay.
Because he played with State Line, Easy Louise. I played with a band called Cumberland Mountain Band. So we played the same circuit all the time. So we were always running into each other.
Right.
So, but of course, when I knew him then, he had hair in his head. So I didn't recognize him when I actually came to play in the band the first time. I'm like, I think I know this guy, but I'm not quite sure. So sure enough, it's Tom. So
yeah, that's the way it works
world,
sometimes.
But it's been fun. It's been a blast.
Right. Now, who have you toured with? You said you did some touring as well?
I played with Cumberland Mountain Band. We did 2 albums in Nashville. We were signed to an indie label down in Nashville.
Right.
We did some regional touring with that, but that's about as far as we got with it.
Okay.
Before the personalities started to conflict and things kind of went south, but it was fun for a while.
Cumberland Mountain Band. What was it?
The name's familiar.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to think of what the biggest hit would have been.
Well, our number one hit, we had 3 number one hits on the independent charts: Dancing Fools. Oh boy, I can't think of the name of the song.
That's not the one I was thinking of though. Geez, I wish I could think of it. Wouldn't it be great if we had something in our hip pocket or something where we could look it up and find out what it was?
Yeah, like a smartphone,
something like that.
Yeah, that was before social media and all that stuff. Really 90s. So.
Right.
And the last album that we did down in Nashville, we recorded that in Clint Black's studio.
Okay.
Our producer was Jeff Huskins, who was the fiddle player for Clint Black.
Oh wow, yeah.
We did a showcase down there, and he approached us about doing an album. So we did the album, and we shot the album, and got a deal with the deal. So we talked to Curb, we talked to Warner Brothers, got a couple offers from them, but the offers weren't that great. So everybody wanted the publishing right off the bat.
Okay.
And I already had the publishing set up, so I wasn't giving it away.
Right.
But that's as far as that got. Once they got to that point and got to that point where you're actually going to be touring full time or trying to hold down a job.
Yeah.
And that's where things got complicated.
Sure. Right. Exactly.
But it was fun. It was a good time.
So what about you, Nick? Who have you toured with?
Oh, that's mean.
You got to pick on the youngster in the room. No,
No one yet.
I'm seeing the sparkle start to fade.
Well, you're going to tour with Two Beer Tommy this season.
There you go.
Yeah. Got a long schedule. It's lined up.
Yeah. So maybe you haven't toured with, guys like these guys have, which not many people have actually. So what's your favorite gig that you've ever played?
Ooh, that's a tough one. the air conditioning turned off as you asked the question.
Yes, it did. Everybody quiet.
It's actually the heat.
Oh, what am I thinking about having the AC on when it's?
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually warm today. It's like 40 something out, which was nice.
Okay, don't avoid the question.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm trying to buy myself time while I think about my favorite gig.
Isn't that Belly Doyle you were telling me about, wasn't it?
Yeah. He was playing with a really cool band.
that's
there.
I was.
It was pretty good.
The singer was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a bit of an asshole, but he's a pretty good singer.
I'd say the most fun gig I ever played, I was playing in an original group where I was like writing and singing most of the stuff. And we played down at the Bottom Lounge. And it was like our first gig where we brought in a really good amount of people, and the audience was receptive, and all the other bands that we were playing with were all super chill, and we're just chilling backstage. We're listening to each other's sets, and that would probably be my favorite gig that I've ever played, because it was original music and it was wild.
Right.
It was a fun night.
Oh, great. Well, that's good. We all have one of those. So who was your favorite artist that you toured with?
Well, listen, I got two sides of this thing. There's so many great artists that I've worked with, right? So, but there's so many great shows that I've been to. And if I only thought about artists like, oh, I like this guy or whatever like that, because a lot of time I'll tell people, well, who are you on the road with? I'm with, Joe Blow or whatever, this band. They're like, how can you stand that? But I'll tell you, any artist or band that you're with and you get in a venue and there's 50 or 500 or 5,000 or 50,000 people and that band is moving those people, I've got mad respect for them, whether I like the music or buy the record or dig it or all. I mean, there's been so many magic moments like that with the band that I wouldn't say that I cared for, but man, they can kick ass.
Sure.
They've got a groove and they're doing the whole thing. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Right.
Well, I heard one today because I hear him on the radio all the time, but I can't remember the guy's name. But Sting would be one that I spent many years with and really enjoyed. He's a rare cat because, I've got this weird theory that God gives you 2 of 3 things in the music industry, and that's either looks, personality, or talent, but you don't get all 3, right? But Sting is one of the few that has all 3. I mean, he's got the look, he's got the talent, and he's just the nicest guy in the world. So probably been on and off 25 years around the world, so many times with the guy, and he's got a photogenic memory. So I'll bump into him somewhere like Radio City Music Hall, and he'll tap me on the shoulder. Hey, Rich, don't I owe you money? The
answer to that is yes.
It's always yes.
Right.
Yes.
Always take the money.
He'll be like, we were here, Amsterdam, and blah blah blah, and I'm shocked he remembers my name, and then he'll talk about something that we did at some point.
Right. And
really fantastic.
What years would that have been?
The first tour I did was 1990 with him, and that was the Soul Cages record. And then we did 18 months, around the world, maybe 30 countries, and then took a little break, did a few things in between. I think Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and somebody else I was with, and then did the next record, which was 10 Summoner's Tales. And that was another, year and a half around the world kind of venture.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. But, Sting, David Foster is another guy I toured with who is another guy, not everybody knows who he is, but they call him the hit maker. He's a great record producer, as many people in the music industry know. But that guy also has got the look, the talent, really nice guy, But everybody else is one or the other, Bob Dylan, great artist, ain't great looking, but incredible guy.
No offense, Bob, if you're listening to this podcast.
That's right.
No offense,
Bob. Yeah. Paul Simon, and I spent many years with Mellencamp for 7-8 years, and all the rest of them are kind of Lindsey Buckingham, another guy. Not easy to deal with, so.
Did you just tour with these guys or did you? Or,
as lighting director too, not as a musician. I'd
gotcha.
Quantify that, So
Okay. No,
I've been a lighting director, a board operator for many years. In fact, I still do it, not as a director, but I work in a company called Upstaging in Sycamore.
Okay.
And I'm a lighting rep. So right now working on John Mayer trying to put that together. And
Right.
so always working on tours. And so in between all the bands that I'm working with, I'm always working on Two Beer Tommy stuff too. And it looks like I'm just doing my regular job, but I'm kind of, I'm booking this show.
Gotcha.
TBT.
No, I have a good friend. I've known him for most of my life. He also tours and does lighting for people. And of everybody that works on a tour, for some reason, it's the guys working lights that always tell me that, oh man, we had a great time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that job, but the people that do it love it. So,
no, absolutely right. Yeah.
Excellent. So this is what we're going to do here. I'm not going to throw Nick into this one because we play this game here where you grab a random penny, right? And there's going to be a date on the penny. But the reason why I'm not going to throw Nick into this because the pennies go all the way back to like 1957.
Right, exactly.
So there's going to be a very slight chance that Nick's going to grab a penny here that he's going to be able to talk about. So
Nick, what were you doing in 1957?
57.
I think swimming.
No, not even that yet.
That's true.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I think at 57. God, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of what year my dad
I was going to say because
born.
there's a
No,
good
my
chance.
dad wasn't even born yet. 57.
Yeah, because I've met your mom and I think she's younger than me.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Just right after, yeah. You look old, Mike. You've got to be older than her.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, then what are we supposed to do? Just grab one of these?
Each, yeah,
just grab a pen.
each of you pick a penny.
I'm going to grab one that looks shiny.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell us the date on there.
Well, you know
read
what?
it.
Yeah, I don't have glasses.
Showing our age now.
All right, this one says. Oh, see, this is the one that Nick should have gotten. This says 2000.
Really?
It does.
Wow.
It does. So what were you doing in 2000?
Man, that's a great question. That's many years ago, it seems,
Musically, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so music wise, it was Mellencamp years because from 97 to 2004, I was touring with Mellencamp.
97 to 2004 with Mellencamp. Wow. It's a long time on the road with that.
Yeah, and it was really funny because a lot of people that I would work with, like I remember, they flew me out to Fogerty's house to sit down and meet with John Fogerty, right, about a tour, right?
Right.
And the tour manager, everybody's there, and they're looking at my resume, and they're like, okay, Sting, 10 years, this guy 10 years, and they go, he hasn't worked with a lot of bands. But the other guy goes, but look at him. He's loyal. Once he's there,
Right.
I'm like,
he's there.
Apparently doing a good job.
Yeah, I'm like old luggage, he just hangs around for a while. Why is he still here?
Right.
To be with Mellencamp for 2 centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. That must have gone through several name changes too.
Yeah,
because
I
he
was for all that. Yeah, the Cougar.
John Cougar to John Cougar Mellencamp.
It was
to
a
just John
bipolar time
Mellencamp.
for him. And he was a tough character also to deal with, I got to tell you. I had a lot of them.
Wow.
I think I got the gigs because nobody else would work with a lot of these people. They're at the bottom of the barrel. Get rich, he'll do it.
All right.
Well, I'm showing my age. I can't read the date on this one.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Hope you didn't like that date. He dropped it.
I don't know what it is.
This one's 1989.
1989.
19.
That was the start of Cumberland Mountain Band, actually.
Okay.
My band that I actually managed myself. Not that I wanted to, but nobody else wanted to do it. So,
Right.
But that's when we first started up. I was divorced probably 2, 3 years, 4 years prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
And started getting together with some friends and kind of building the band. And kind of my brother came into the band and we were just having fun. The whole thing was just built for fun.
Right.
That was it. And it started happening. Next thing I knew, I started booking gigs, started getting a following. The whole shebang. Of course, we didn't have social media back then. You couldn't Facebook where you're playing. This was all done through flyers and mailing lists and everything else.
Right.
But that's how it started out. And then one of the guys started writing songs in the band. And next thing you know, we're doing albums and pitching stuff to Nashville and got a manager and chasing the dream and seeing how far it would go. And it was fun. It was a good time.
What was the first gig?
First gig, I think we played a place down in Romeoville. I don't even know if the bar's still there. I can't remember the name of the bar. It was right on the road near the river.
Boy, I wish I could remember the name of the
I can
place
see the
because
place.
I guarantee it looked
Yeah.
like a double wide trailer. Is that the
Pretty
place
close to it.
I'm
Pretty close to
thinking
it.
of?
Of
Boy,
course, we played Johnny's 83. That was a popular spot back then. We were starting out, and that was down at Archer and 83 there.
right.
So we played there a few times, and that was fun. And then just started branching out and playing different places, going from there.
You know, if it's the place that I'm thinking of, it's still there. But it's been a couple of different things
Yeah.
since then.
I want to say it's Sidekicks or something like that. It was called. Or
I think it was. Actually, I think that was the name of it. Yeah. Because it started. I think the front of it, when you pull up to the place, kind of looks like a double wide trailer. Kind of looked like a steel corrugated type kind of a shed.
Yeah,
And
pretty
then
much.
there's an addition onto the back of it where now if bands play there, it's like in a back room, which is huge, but it's not right in the bar area anymore. But it's still there, and I can't think of what it's called right now.
It was fun. It was good. It was a fun crowd. And we played that, and then a couple weeks later, they had us back to open up for Johnny Paycheck.
Oh, no kidding! Wow.
And that was quite the adventure. Playing,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
opening Johnny Paycheck. You get stoned walking into the dressing room, but it was a good time.
All right. Well, moment of truth here, Nick.
All right, I grabbed the shiniest penny I could see on the light. I got 2019, so I am definitely alive.
That is easy, and I have to point out that he's the only one that was able to read the date on the penny himself.
That's right.
2019,
So 2019 it was actually a pretty good year. Now I'm thinking about it. I quickly pulled up my Facebook. I'm like, what was going on in 2019? Was I in this original group, or did I already transitioned to another group? So I was in a group that went under several different names before we set up on, I think it was Johnny Persone, because we wanted to go by Johnny Nobody.
I remember that.
We wanted to go by Johnny Nobody, but that's already been taken. And our drummer at the time had the smart idea. Why don't you just put Nobody into different languages and see what that sounds? So Persone was obviously nobody in French, according to Google Translate.
Right.
So I was playing guitar, writing stuff with them, which was a lot of fun. I was primarily teaching as my main source of income. I think I was around like 30 students around that time. So teaching, directing different groups at a local business that I will not be saying their name.
Okay.
Since I have moved on for that. But yeah, just a lot of playing like, your small local venues with a few other local bands. I'm trying to think if we did anything really cool in 2019. I remember I got everybody in the band mad at me because I booked just a cover gig because I'm like, I'd like to make some money at one of these gigs instead of driving out 2 hours and getting paid like $10 and splitting up between 5 people.
Right.
So I know they all kind of were a little bit upset with me. I'm like, well, we're gonna get paid like $500, so there's $100 ahead for the night.
Yeah. And they were mad at you for bringing money into their pockets.
Yeah. Well, they weren't mad at me about the money. They were mad about us learning like 50 tunes and trying to figure out what 50 tunes to play.
Yeah, you sold out, became a commercial.
That's what you did. That's what you did.
I sold out, man.
He's young. He doesn't know better. Yeah. No. Who are the other guys in that band? Because I know I've seen you guys.
The other members of the group in 2019, it would have been, she goes by Zell Savage on stage. She was our singer/rhythm guitar player. We had our drummer who goes by Aaron. Our bass player, his name was Brian. And then we had a keyboard player who also would sub in for rhythm guitar when Zell didn't want to sing, who went by Kit.
Okay.
And good group of people. We all worked at the majority of us, besides the bass player, all worked at the same music school teaching kids. So the school I was at had a rehearsal space upstairs. So on Friday nights we would rehearse up there.
Nice. Yeah, I remember because that was about the same time that we didn't just meet, but it was around that time. It was pre-COVID and stuff. And
yeah,
I think you started subbing in for Cadillac Groove around that time too.
Yeah, I think that's right on the money. I want to say it was either like 2018 or 2019 where I really started subbing in.
Right.
but Scott never calls off. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is fine.
But who knows? He's in a new position and has a new day job, and
Oh,
he's doing some traveling now. So
Oh,
we'll
good.
see. We'll see what happens.
You'd mentioned some originals. You guys do any originals?
Yeah, well, we've got one that we put out called Don't Drive My Truck, but it was written by Mario Massey, who's a great a guitar player and a producer in Elgin.
Okay.
You know? And so we've kind of taken that one under our wing and, rearranged it and put our words to it. But he was the original writer of the songs.
Play it again and I grab my keys. I kiss her cheek and a little squeeze. Well, when I hopped inside, there was something wrong. The seat's jacked forward and the radio's on. She's done it again, pushing her luck. I love you, honey, but don't drive my truck.
You guys do any writing?
Nope.
No.
Nope. There's so many there's so much good music out there. We just like to try. We could call it giving it the TBT treatment. You know what I mean? And we just kind of give it our vibe and play it. So it's just endless.
Well, there's a young man in a t-shirt. Listen to the rock and roll station. He's got a greasy hair and a greasy spine. He says, Lord, this must be my destination. 'Cause they told me when I was younger, Tommy for president. Boy, you're gonna be president. Oh, you? Just like everything else, those old crazy dreams just gotta aim it well. You're the cutest thing that I ever did see. I really love your peaches, wanna shake your tree. Lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey all the time. Ooh, baby, I'll
What about you, Sparkle?
oh boy.
I love that. He is never going to live that down. He's Sparkle from now on.
Yeah.
Say right.
Haven't played an official gig yet, and I already got a nickname.
Yeah. Well, you had mentioned you guys did some originals. Do you do any writing or?
Yeah, I do some. I've been this year actually. I was like trying to write a song, like at least one song every month, and I'm at 2 songs, and we're in February, so
Very good.
made that work.
All right.
That's a good
What
resolution.
genre?
The thing with me is I have what I would call musical ADD.
Mhm.
So the first 2 songs that I have like written and fully fleshed out, they're more like a songwriter, like a singer-songwriter kind of thing. But I have like two or three songs in the brain with like lyrics and whatnot that like one's like a James Brown kind of thing. And so I've got a couple of blues tunes I've written before. And in the past I've done like punk and almost indie rock kind of stuff too.
Okay.
How about you, Tim? You've got a bunch of music.
I don't do much any writing. I wrote one song once.
No,
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But I have a rewriter's license, so I can take a song, steal it, and rewrite it a little bit. and make
Okay.
my own.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So where can people find you on social media wise?
Well, that would be Two Beer Tommy Band on Facebook. And then we've got twobeertommy.rocks on your www, and then a local venue near you. We're playing No Bar Too Far, No Hall Too Small. We hit them all.
All right.
So,
And he says he doesn't write. I mean, he just rhymed that pretty easily.
Yeah.
but I want to back up about social media when you talk about it. Didn't have it back then, but we all had the Illinois Exaggerator, didn't we?
Yeah, we
were
sure
all
did.
in-
The Illinois Exaggerator. That's great.
That's where we went to see who was doing what, where. And I always noticed that TBA was playing everywhere.
You always,
Yeah.
always wanted to get a band together and call it TBA and then just show up. We're TBA.
We're TBA.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're TBA. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first of the month,
Yeah.
you had to get that that magazine, see who's playing where, what's going on, and man,
That's exactly right. But and then to back up a little bit more, I told you the first tour I did was REO Speedwagon High Fidelity tour, right? So
Right.
it's cool to see that. And I was working with the boys before that. But before that, I played in a local band before I was old enough to shave like you, right? And it was called Freeway, and we were playing all the bars, and that's when the clubs were going back and forth between 18, 21, 19,
Right.
Back and forth, who could get in. So Rock Garden and Elmhurst, all around the Risk area, with Joey DeMarco and stuff like that. That was our haunt back then. So I started in the clubs and then went out on the road. And now I feel like I've gone full circle.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Not a lot of people that can say that. That's great.
That's true.
That's great. All righty, guys. Well, thanks a lot for coming out. We really appreciate having you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
awesome.
you.
And really wonderful.
Great meeting you guys finally in
Yeah.
person. I know so much about your band,
Yeah.
so yeah, thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you.
And thanks for bringing Sparkle.
Yeah.
That's very.
That's what he's here
Great.
for. You got to have it.
I had to wear my sunglasses.
No, I think he needs to wear a Rainbow Bright costume on stage. I
Yeah,
think that's
maybe.
what he needs to do.
Oh,
We're gonna have to get to a show and see what he's got on.
Please do. Come on out. Bring all your friends and neighbors and,
We'll do. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you.
thank you.
So that was Two Beer Tommy featuring Sparkle.
I can't wait to see Nick out in a club someplace and call him Sparkle in front of all his
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. And that solo was by Sparkle.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I-
going to love that.
Yeah. I think he's on their way. They're all heading home now and he's just cussing them up and down like crazy.
That's exactly what he's doing. Yeah. He's been with the band. He hasn't even played his first official gig with them yet.
And he's got a name.
the nickname
Yeah, he's
Sparkle. Wow. And man, I can't believe the people that they've toured with.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, Mellencamp and
Paul Simon,
REO
Sting,
Speedwagon.
REO
Sting.
Speedwagon.
I mean, he's been, and like you said, all over the world. He comes home. He's home for a little while, off for another year and a half. That's craziness.
We could have kept Rich here probably for several hours just talking about stories.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Maybe we should have him back one day and you could just talk about days on the road.
You know,
That might be pretty cool.
that might be pretty cool.
So, alrighty. Well, that was Two Beer Tommy. We didn't have any beer with any of them. So, I think we got to get out of here so we can go have a beer.
Yep.
And otherwise, we'll see you guys next Tuesday for your next episode of the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. See you then.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago. Rock and roll